Hey everybody, welcome back. We are on supply and demand, okay, just a general look at markets, and we're doing this thing called comparative statics. Now, right from the beginning, I just want to say your teacher might not ever use that term. I have to admit, I don't pretty much use that term in my own classroom, okay? Comparative statics. I just want to throw it out there because some teachers do use that term, and I just want to say, what are they talking about? Well, they're comparing something, okay? They're comparing two static positions. What it means is they're comparing one equilibrium to another equilibrium. They're really looking at why we would move from one equilibrium in the market to a new equilibrium in the same market. So you're looking at a single market and just a change from one equilibrium position to another. That's what comparative statics is. Don't get hung up on that. Even if they don't use the term, you're going to have to do what we're about to do here. You're going to have to see how a change in a market or a change in market equilibrium comes about and how to show that graphically, okay? Now, I've already got a market set up, okay, and we're in a equilibrium, initial equilibrium, okay? I got that E sub 0, that's our initial equilibrium. What I want to say is, what does this mean? What it means is we've got all these determinants of supply, exogenous variables that determine the QS to price relationship. What's the QS to price relationship? It's supply, okay? So we got all these values of these exogenous variables that affect supply, and we're going to hold them constant. Not at zero, you're just going to hold them constant at whatever value they are. We've also got these determinants of demand, right? Exogenous variables that affect the QD price relationship, okay? What's QD in price? That's demand, okay? We're just going to hold them constant also. So we're going to hold them constant, and the market is going to find its way to that equilibrium. Price market sub 0, quantity market sub 0. There we are in some equilibrium position. Now, the only thing that's going to get us to move away from that equilibrium point is if an exogenous variable to this graph changes. What I'm saying, guys, is price and quantity are not going to change unless something external to this relationship changes, okay? A determinant of supply or a determinant of demand changes. So let's do it, okay? We got a catch-up market. I've already got that titled right there. And let's just say that the price of tomatoes plummets. It goes way down. So price of tomatoes. What are tomatoes as far as ketchup is concerned? They're an input to production. So this is a decrease in the price of an input to production. What type of exogenous variable is that? Is that an exogenous variable that affects supply or demand? I.e., is that a determinant of supply or a determinant of demand? Of course, it is a determinant of supply. It's going to change the quantity supplied price relationship. Now, if you look back at earlier videos, you know that supply is the marginal cost curve, okay? I'm going to put that up here really quickly, okay? The supply curve is the marginal cost curve. And if the price of tomatoes goes down, I hope it's incredibly intuitive that the marginal cost, okay, the marginal cost of each one of these units of output right there is going down. So the marginal cost curve goes down. And when the marginal cost curve shifts down, what is supply doing? Supply is shifting to the right. That is an increase in quantity supplied at every single price point, okay? Now, a lot of us are just going to jump right from there to there, and that's not so bad, but I want to take a little bit of time on how we actually go from there to there. So I'm going to get rid of this curve because it's no longer there. Price of tomatoes has gone down. But you can tell I'm leaving a little remnant because I want to still be able to see it, because I want you to see what's happening, okay? What happens is the price of tomatoes plummets, okay? It goes way down, supply shifts right, but the price for ketchup doesn't change right off the bat. So we still have that initial price. And what we have now at the initial price, that horizontal distance, remember this supply curve is gone, okay? So that horizontal distance, what curve am I hitting? I'm hitting the current demand curve, the old and current demand curve, okay? That's the quantity demanded. And at this price, this horizontal distance, all the way to right there, is the quantity supplied. So quantity demanded, quantity supplied. Notice I'm hitting the supply curve. So at that original price, what do we have? We've got a surplus. So what are producers going to do when we get a surplus? They're going to start to lower the price. So we've got this surplus, they begin to lower the price. As they lower the price, the quantity demanded is going to increase, right? They lower the price. And they're going to keep lowering the price until we get to that new market equilibrium, because all those prices above that market equilibrium would result in a surplus, and the price will continue to go down until the market clears. What does it mean for the market to clear? We don't have a surplus, we don't have a shortage. QS now equals QD again. So that price is going to go down until QD hits us right there, and now we are at Q market sub 1, our new equilibrium, price market 1. Okay, I keep saying sub 1. I guess I'm doing a superscript, but you can see, right? 0 to 1. Quantity increased, price decreased. Now, we just want to say what happened in this graph in at least qualitative language, okay? Not quantitative language. We're not going to give any data here, okay? But in qualitative language, what happened in this market, okay? Now, this is the part a lot of kids get confused on, okay? So, what happened in this market? Did supply change? Yes, the entire quantity supplied price relationship changed. QS increased at every price point. Supply shifted right. So we had an increase in supply. So capital S for supply. How about demand? Did demand change? And here's the key. No, okay? We still have the same QD price relationship we've always had. The same demand curve is still there. Nothing fundamental about the QD price relationship changed. It's just that price went down. So we moved along the demand curve, which is an increase in quantity demanded. So I'm going to write increase in quantity demanded. I want to be very specific here, okay, y'all? When you see increase in quantity demanded, I want you to understand the first thing this is communicating to an economist is demand did not change. However, we did buy more. Notice that. This is saying, when we say we had an increase in quantity demanded, we are saying demand did not change. The QD price relationship did not change. However, we are absolutely buying more, okay? It was an increase in the quantity demanded. We're buying more. Once again, why? Because that price went down. So this is telling us what happened to the two curves. Supply did change. It shifted right. Demand did not change, but we did buy more because we moved along the curve to the right. Increased quantity demanded. Now, how about the variables? Pretty doggone straightforward. In fact, we've already answered this. Price absolutely went down. So we're going to say decrease in price equilibrium. How about the quantity? The quantity, we went to the right? The quantity increased. So quantity equilibrium increased. There it is, y'all. This is fully communicating, at least from a qualitative standpoint, exactly what happened in this market. We've said what happened to the functions, the supply and demand functions, and we said what happened to price and quantity, okay? The price equilibrium, the quantity equilibrium. That is a comparative static. We're comparing that equilibrium to that equilibrium, and we're even telling the story on how it happened. Hope that made sense to you, and we'll see you in the next video.